Sure. Jeandra LaBeouf rolling out. Michael Ealy, philandering men are usually not sympathetic creatures. They usually are not. But with Derek, we have something totally different here.
Mhm.
When you read through the script and got to know who he was, when did it click in for you like, I know who this guy is and I know how to embody him for this journey we're going to go on with him?
Great question. Wow, great question. I didn't know right away. I just knew I was up for the challenge right away, right? Like I didn't know if I could pull this off right away. And that was challenging in and of itself. And then pulling it off opposite Hilary Swank was definitely going to be um, extremely challenging. So for me, you know, I never saw him as a philanderer, you know. um, I saw him as somebody who was kind of broken and something was missing. And he kind of fell, you know, sadly, he fell prey to, temptation and attention, which I think is um, a bit more understandable rather than, uh, you know, rather than like me holding contempt for this character because of, his ways. I don't think this was his way. I think he fell off I think that the train went off the tracks this one time, and that's all it took, right?
Mhm. I'm glad you said that. The train went off the tracks because it takes me into what well, I don't even know if I want to ask you. It pays homage to another film. And
Yeah.
as people watch the film, they'll understand it. I don't want to say it because it kind of will ruin the payoff for
Mhm.
our viewers who are going to watch the film.
Okay.
When you step into a role with this, with just such a talented cast with Mike and Hillary, and you've got this immense cast around you, what are those huddles like? There are very few instances where you all are able to be together. You're with Mike in some, you're with Hillary in some scenes. What are those early huddles like to create that chemistry to bring all these people to life and commingling with each other?
It in a weird way, it's all the same, right? Like
Mhm.
we're all actors, and we're all there to breathe life into these characters and lift them off the page, and service the film in that way. So when we come together, you know, it almost, and this is, I think, something that Hillary was able to establish. It doesn't matter what accolades you have. Um, Come prepared, and that is, as long as you come prepared, you're going to be ready to work. And you might not have the scene completely locked down like you do by the time you finish shooting it, but if you've done your work, you're ready for anything. And that is, what I think a lot of those huddles were. Like everybody came prepared, everybody came with their ideas, everybody came with their feelings about who their character was and backstory. And then we all just started to collaborate and play jazz, and it was just um, kind of miraculous in that way.
There is some physicality that you have to do in a film like this, but the gotcha can be very taxing for the audience. What is it like for you to crawl inside that and make sure that you're executing those aha moments that kind of keep us on our edge as we ride the wave with you all?
Yeah, a good question. The key is to, despite knowing, the story and how it ends and everything else, um, the key is to always, in my opinion, remember that you're trying to service the audience. And it's the first time that they're going to see this moment. And you only get, Dion and I talk about this all the time, you get one shot. You get one shot to get them. Because, and if you don't, if it falls flat, the movie falls flat. And I know in this particular movie, most people will say the exact same moment um, is like the turning point where the movie goes from here. I don't know, say it delves deeper, right? It goes from here and it just delves deeper and darker into murkier waters, and everything becomes a little less clean, and everything becomes a little less cut and dry. And now we have to start thinking about people's motives and angles and everything else. And that, to me, we had one shot at getting that moment right. And from what I've seen, after watching it with an audience, it's there, and it's just one of many, but it's there.
It definitely is. It threw me for a loop. Thank you,
Yeah.
Michael, for your time. Great film. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jeandra. Have a great holiday.
You too. Happy holidays.